Nou, dit is hem. Ik heb wat hulp gehad. We hebben een paar aangepaste richtjes gekregen. En hier was dus zo vriendelijk geweest om uit te varen met een bootje. En 3 kwartier daarna hij gaat af van zijn speer. En met de boot erachteraan. Flink veel last van de wind. Hard getrokken. Door mijn andere lijn heen. Maar alles is goed gegaan en hier is hij. Mooi hè? Nou, nummer 3. Nu van de rechterstek. Eigenlijk zonder problemen. En ja, op zich een mooie vis. En, weer een spiegeltje. Die spiegel.
So, we're just about to go underwater, but before we do, I've got a question to ask our friend here, because he landed a really nice fish earlier. 56 pounds, 25 kilos. That is a monster. It was called a grey lady. It lives in Héron Lake on the Abbey Lakes complex. And what I'd like to know is where you caught it from. We believe it was that weed bed there.
Yeah, it is. Just behind the outcrop of weed you see there. Just popped it behind it. That's it.
That's it. What was it like? Do you know what the bottom's like, or did you try, or didn't you try? Or?
I didn't really try. I could see when the sun is out, the water is fairly clear.
Okay.
I could see that the high weed, which you see here, stopped, and it became far less. So I just put it in.
Let's have a look at the edge down here now, and you point out what you think that weed was like. So let's see if what you think it was is what it actually was. So we've got some Canadian pondweed like this.
Oh, it's far more like
so
that.
So you think it's more like the other stuff over there, and that stuff is just a blanket of silkweed on the bottom.
Yeah.
So you think it was silkweed?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Héron, there's only one way to find out what it was, and that's for me to get the old tanks on and go underwater. Let's have it. Now this is always the worst bit from a diver's point of view. Just going over a certain part, I can feel the water coming in through the wetsuit. It might look like it keeps you dry, but it doesn't. The water always goes behind. It just keeps you warm afterwards. So, starting to come through. Woo. Woo.
Exact erbovenop.
So this is your spot down there, lovely and sandy. The odd little strand of weed. That's the big weed bed across the top there.
Okay.
That's right beside me. You were fishing on that, so it was actually a very, very good place to put a bait. You can see on that picture there, just a bit of weed.
It's even better than I thought.
Of distance. It's an absolutely fantastic place. There is some little small strands, but on the whole, it's very good. That's getting right up to the weed bed. Now the rod's going to go back in the water exactly as he caught the fish. We'll plop it out and see what it looks like. So off you go, mate. Stick it in. Just a nice light underarm swing, plop down, and then he'll walk down the bank, take his rod back to the rod rests, set his line, and while he's doing that, I'll trundle out there. So now as a comparison, what we're going to do is we're going to put this PVA bag out. It's a little bit bigger, a bit tighter. I'm not going to touch it because my hands are wet, but we've got some tungsten putty on the hook link just to try and hide it. And then also we're going to put a back lead on the back to hide the line as well. And we'll see what that looks like as well. Right, so let's have a little look through. Those are your shots from before. And that's the first one I'd like to show you. That's Héron's baited spot, or the bigger bag. It's immediately it presents itself a little bit better, and you can see the bait standing out there quite easily. The thing that surprised me was how big the spread of bait was. You can see the hook bait there. Yeah. That, you know, that's a great bright presentation. That's the lead over there, and that's the hook bait there. But it stands out a lot more. The hook link as well looks really good. That's all curved around the bottom. So putting a bit of tungsten on it means that it will sit flat. There's a tight one of the hook bait itself as well. I'll go back and just flick back again to, there we are, the hook link all looking lovely and flat on the bottom there. The line's coming straight up because it's caught over the weed, but it's not so much of a problem because it's going vertical almost. And one thing I particularly like about it, I've got that shot again. One thing I particularly like about this presentation is the different colour of pellets. You've got some greens, you've got some dark browns, you've got some light browns there, and it stands out as a really good presentation that will stop fish in the trap.
Yeah, my rig usually would stand up a bit more. Yeah. But the corn is so dried in. The corn's dried out a little bit.
Yeah, I think if you do, then try where you're using a pop-up. Instead of using a piece of dark corn, perhaps use a boilie as well. You know, either a bright pink or a bright yellow in there, and instead of using cork, which is darker, you can have something else which is bright, and that will help it stand up too.
Okay.
But there we go, very nice. Well, there we go, there's one or two tips and tricks from down under. I hope that's been good for you.
Yeah.
Have you enjoyed it?
Thank you very much.
Yeah?
Yeah.
A few little tips?
I'll sure to use them.
Yeah, excellent. Well, you've already caught a good one. You carry on like that, put a few little refinements to your rigs and you're going to catch a lot more. Well done.
Okay.
Let's put it there.
Thank you very much.